Last Pint Productions presents the New Way podcast. The New Way contains adult content and is recorded in advance. The following episode was originally recorded on December 10th, 2020. Listener discretion is advised.
So you were in Vietnam, if I'm not mistaken?
Yeah?
Were you in the shit?
Yeah, I was in the shit.
Last night, Darth Vader came down from planet Vulcan and told me that if I didn't take Lorraine out, that he'd melt my brain.
Here's how you get him. He pulls a knife, you pull a gun. He sends one of yours to the hospital, you send one of his to the morgue.
We came, we saw, we kicked its ass.
Everybody wants to be naked and famous. Everybody wants to be just like me, I'm naked.
Will you help teach me about this? What is it? A new way?
Hello and welcome to the New Way podcast, where we break down pop culture so you don't have to. I am your host, Matt Schenk. I am joined via Zoom from Mr. Benjamin Scott Wilson.
Skazoom?
I was going to say Skype, and then I moved it into Zoom. No one noticed. Just
Skazoom meets.
No one. Skazoom meets sounds like a weird nickname for your junk.
How's it going, Matt?
It's going fantastic. Do you know why I'm excited, Ben?
Why are you excited?
I'm excited because we have a special guest on the program this
Is he really
week.
special, though? Because I think at this point it's just recurring.
Specialist. I think he's the specialist of the guests. And
So
he's
my
a
mom
specialist.
Always
He's
told
the
me I was
specialist.
special.
Starring Sylvester Stallone.
That's right. We have, of course, Mr. Ryan Alexander Hamilton. How's it going, Ryan?
It's going all right.
Coming to us from
Good.
Dallas now?
Dallas? Dallas? What is this Dallas?
It's the land of 3 Series BMWs and high credit card debt.
Oh, well, that sounds about right.
And they had that TV show about Dallas called what was it called? Dynasty. Yeah,
And-
Allegedly.
allegedly.
Somebody got shot. JP something. I don't know.
Sure, close enough.
Also, wasn't there just a show called Dallas?
Yeah, that was the main joke there.
Yeah.
But we just
Don't joke the joke, buddy.
we're gonna skip right on over that one. We have Ryan on today.
You know, we actually have a friend named JR, which is the first time I ever met him. I was drunk and I just thought it was funny. I was just like, "So who shot you?" And he just shook his head and walked away.
Yeah,
That was a very original joke.
yeah. I'm sure
Yeah.
he's not heard that every day of his life since he was.
Well, the worst part is his last name is Timberlake. So anytime he checked into a hotel, his name was Jay Timberlake, and he had to travel for a living. So there would be like people waiting outside to be like, "Is it him? Is he coming?" You know. So yeah.
And they
Between
were
that,
just super disappointed.
between that and terrible Dallas jokes, that
he's
guy
had a rough life.
He's had a rough travel life.
So Ryan, how has your 2020 been? We haven't talked to you in a little while here.
You know, it's just same old. Nothing really going on. Just moving across the state. That's really about it. Not much else going on.
Nothing. And now you have any big holiday plans?
No, my family all lives up here, so I no longer have the travel between large metropolitan areas to deal with. So really probably just gonna drink an obnoxious amount of alcohol and bug my family.
So
Just do drunk Orion things.
There's the plus and minus of you moving away from Houston. No more Spindle Tap or Urban South, but now I have ready access anytime I would like Turning Point or any of the other fine Dallas Fort Worth
But I
area
also
breweries.
still have plenty of beer friends in Houston, so that's not
True.
It's good.
a concern.
True dat.
How far is it between the two?
4.5 hours.
That's not too bad.
5.5 if you stop and take a shit at Buc-ee's.
Ooh, that's a place to poop. That's for sure. It's a long building. It's a very long. There are several bathrooms in that building, I think.
Yeah, they are a delicacy.
I have
in.
been in a few of them. Don't think I've ever pooped in one, but
See,
the night
but
is
the
young.
thing is, if you're,
I
like,
think I've only
you're-
ever slummed it and taken a shit at Whataburger.
I thought you were gonna say I've
But
only
the-
ever
well,
slept at one.
I have actually. Shit, I can't even say I've never slept at one because I 100% stopped and slept. I took like a 45-minute nap in the parking lot of a
Nice.
Buc-ee's just a couple weeks ago. So
That's
I
phenomenal.
absolutely have slept at one. But when you have to make that trip a lot, like I did, your GI system basically has a GPS, and it's like, you have to poop now. Like there's a Buc-ee's within, like the Buc-ee's alarm goes off, and all of a sudden it's like, oh yeah, I have to poop.
They should like build that into Waze so that it's like, need to poop? Bucky's right around the corner. Last chance
Right.
to poop. Bucky's right here.
If only we could have gotten the crossover when Vladi Divac was still an optional voice.
That was amazing.
In 9 Mays, you need to shit.
Got the Bucky's.
Wait, why does he sound like Dracula?
Because he
And like the bad
I
Dracula.
am
Because
Vladi
Vladi
Divac. I'm
Vladi
going to suck
Divac
your blood and
kind
dung.
of sounds like he kind of sounds like Dracula.
Well, I mean, that's what the Vladi Divac the Impaler. That's where his name comes from. It's
Divac the Impaler.
true. Divac.
I like it when Matt acts like he knows sports.
Ha ha!
Touche.
Well, I know that it's at least basketball related, but
Glug glug glug. What you drinking, Ryan?
Oh, Baba Brewhouse, Smooth Ninja, Peach Tree of Heavenly Wisdom.
Oh, okay.
Smooth
This is
Ninja.
this is the new Houston hype super fruit sour.
Oh,
Oh yeah.
Like
Oh,
it's
like
just
fruit juice. It's a smoothie.
It's Orange Julius.
It's a smoothie.
well, I do have exciting beer news.
What are you
on-
drinking, Matt? Before you do your beer?
I am drinking some rye whiskey on the rocks.
Nice.
Yeah, I have. So after 2 years of research and development on an Kickstarter campaign I backed 2.5 years ago, on Tuesday I will finally be receiving my beer maker home brew all-in-one kit. Will be arriving to the house. I have I've made
so for
room
those-
for it.
For those who don't know, like Ryan, this thing's basically like a Keurig for beer.
Yeah, but like it brews.
You brews your own beer within a week
like
in
it's
like
crazy,
a Keurig style system.
but like
a
huge,
gallon at a
like,
time.
huge.
That could be awesome or terrible.
So right now they've
Like, I
had
don't know which one.
they've got a lot of people have received, like, have been beta testing and stuff. So they've been making their own, like you get kits and the kit will be like, do you want to make a,
Like the car.
yes, exactly.
Yes.
Bits of William Daniels in every glass.
It's a talking beer maker.
It's just William Daniels pisses in each
Good
of the
morning,
beers.
Matthew.
I could probably make it do that, but
What kind of beer would you like this evening?
so they have kits
Matthew,
to
you've
make
had
like
too much to drink.
to make like a hazy or to make a West Coast IPA or a stout or whatever. And then there's also a do-it-yourself mode where you can basically on their site or wherever you want to get it, buy your own hops and grains and everything. And it just the whole kit tells you like, here's when to put it in. Here's when it's like doing all of the steps in the process. Here's when to empty the waste bag. And then it all goes in like a tap system when you get done with it. And you have like a little tap that sits in your refrigerator and you have beer in like a couple of days after after it's finished brewing. Like you've got to let it sit to carb for a couple of days, but it's crazy.
It's an entirely automated system, Ryan. It's pretty crazy. We'll send you a link because it's pretty nifty. And the idea is it's basically like it's just micro batches of beer. You're just basically doing the same process, but you're like doing on sort of this micro level where you're only you're brewing like 140 ounces at once, and that's it.
And you don't have to do like you literally add
You don't
all
have to
your
do
shit.
anything.
I like that 140 ounces is that's it.
Well, for
It's
Ben,
barely over a
you're brewing
gallon,
enough-
dude.
You're brewing enough to get blackout. That's it.
Just once. One
dude
session
just
drink.
made one of the guys that got it made a Lucky Charms stout, and he measured it in about 9%. And he's like, "Oh yeah, it's good. It did the trick." So I'm
Did he say
super
it was
excited.
magically delicious.
So we are going to make our flagship last pint first beer. We will start next week, and it should
First
be
pint.
ready for my first. That's what it should be called. I've been looking for a great name, and you just nailed it in 2
God
seconds.
damn it, Ryan.
God, you
All right,
beautiful
guys. Well, it's
bastard.
been fun. I'll see y'all later.
Get the hell out
All
of
right.
here. You
That's
earned
the
your
only reason
money.
why we brought him on.
That's right. First pint. God damn, that's just genius and simple and fuck.
Hey, story of my life. I'm genius and simple and special.
Fuck. Well, The other thing that's special about you, Ryan, is that when you get on the air, our listeners say, they start feeling excited. They get a little I
I knew it was gonna happen.
Yeah, they get
I knew it was gonna happen.
They get a little
didn't think it was
antsy in
gonna
their
happen.
pantsies, and because they know what's going to happen, they know there's going to be an erotic reading. But what they didn't know this year is, since it's the holiday season, I have picked holiday erotic readings, and since there is no contest for holiday erotic readings, I literally downloaded 3 Kindle ebooks by amateur authors and picked out passages from those. So it's way worse than it has ever been any of the times we have done it. I can promise you that. But the biggest difference to help you out, Ryan, is this time you are going to get to choose your passage based on the title of the book that it comes from. So
how did I get pigeonholed into this bit?
Because you're so uncomfortable with it, and that just makes it 10 times funnier. So plus, whenever the guy takes his junk out, we can just make the law sound effect like it's going right on the table. But all right, here are your 3 choices, and we'll give Ryan first choice. You can do Snowballin' I Fucked Frosty by Aurel Vierge.
That's not even subtle. That's porn.
Well, they get a little worse. You can do.
Oh, that's
just one.
God.
Yeah, that's just one.
That's the tamest one?
That's maybe. The next one is Penetrating Claws, The Tale of Toys and Tinkerbottoms. But the author of that one is just called Lust Pen. Just Lust Pen, one word, all in caps.
I wouldn't want to put my name on that either.
It's like the prince of holiday erotic readings.
Is this an original Lust Pen first edition? Excellent. And finally, and this is by my favorite author, Santa's Coming Tonight by T.T. Royale. So those are your choices: Snowball and I Fucked Frosty, Penetrating Claws, The Tale of Toys and Tinkerbottoms, or Santa's Coming Tonight by T.T. Royale.
Ryan.
Santa's coming tonight.
Santa's coming tonight. Well, I think you thought that might be the tamest based on the title, and I think you're going to find yourself to possibly be wrong. So I'm going to use our magical chat system here to send you your script. And
I hope you have some really...
It actually won't let it fit all in one. So hold on a second. I'm gonna have
That's what she said.
Is that what I'm supposed to read?
Hold on a second.
Oh my God! Wait, hold on. This is not all of it.
No, it's not. There's just a little bit more.
What she said.
I don't usually do this. Oh, okay, yeah. Okay, so I'll just send you the last bit. And let's send that here. You'll see how it connects there. Okay. I had to get the last line.
But it's like four words.
Do you have some? Do you have jolly porn music?
You know what? I totally forgot about that, but I think we can probably find some.
Jolly with the right attitude.
I'm sure we can find some sexy Christmas music. Hold on a second.
Just look for Christmas jazz.
Christmas saxophone.
Christmas jizz is actually what you're looking for.
That just came right up. Yeah. Let's see if this.
Fucking play something, Snacks Man. Anyways, while he's doing that,
is it not playing? You can't hear it?
I can't hear anything.
Oh, hold on. Okay, yeah, talks amongst yourselves. I'll fix it.
I heard the sound effects earlier, but I hadn't heard anything.
Have some coffee. We'll talk. It's coffee talk.
So you picked that one. Santa's Coming Tonight. Do I get to pick of the other two?
Yes, you do.
I'm gonna do I Fuck Frosty.
I knew you were gonna pick that one.
Fun story about high school Ryan is
you fucked Frosty?
Well, you're going to love this. I was Frosty. So our school National Honor Society did all the costume characters for like the city tree lighting. So I was Frosty the Snowman.
So Frosty fucked somebody else.
Well,
no.
Disappointingly so. No, but the problem with the costume, I had to be like guided around by elves because you have the like giant Frosty head and you can't see.
You can't see anything.
And when it's a kid's event, you lose them within like 5 feet and they come run up to you. I just spent the entire night getting headbutted right in the nuts the entire night.
Should have worn a cup.
How was I to know?
Oh yeah.
I'd never worn a costume
And you never volunteered for that job again, I'm assuming.
No.
Yeah.
It was like, so that's how I got my AIM screen name of Kid Frosty 55. It's not because I was a shitty local DJ.
Or because you were... it just sounds like a bad... I'm just not going to keep going with that one. I don't know why this wouldn't play for you guys.
We can't hear it. Maybe you can. Maybe the board can hear it. I don't know.
So you don't hear... Nothing?
Nope.
All right, well, we're gonna just power through then, and you're gonna have to do it.
Do it live.
Do it live. So you're gonna just have to do it dry. It's gonna make it even more amazing. You know what? I will add it in post, which we rarely do.
Nobody's gonna be dry once I'm done reading this.
All right. I want to hear it.
Do it.
I'm a little disappointed that they spelled coming COMING. I thought they'd be more on the nose with that.
Well, it doesn't wind up just on the nose.
Sibilance. Oh, come on, man.
Okay, don't read too far ahead. Come on, just
do it.
No,
do it.
No, I was talking about Matt.
Oh, hey, well.
Just a little.
Yeah.
Santa's Coming Tonight by T.T. Royale. That has to be a porn star, right?
It's Titty Royale.
Is it Titty Royale? That makes sense. Okay.
Titty Royale with cheese.
Damn it! I was building that up. Have you been naughty or nice this year, Emma? Oh, I'm a nice girl, Santa. When I was little, I'd get a candy cane if I was... Saw this one? Yeah. You're going to get the best candy cane you've ever had, but I warn you, it's pretty big, so you might not be able to have it all at once. Oh, Santa, Emma simpered. Simpered? What is that? Emma simpered. I do like the sound of that. He unzipped his pants and pulled out the hugest cock Emma has ever seen. I was expecting a sound effect. As she stared, he pulled out a candy cane striped condom and put it over his swollen member. How do you like my candy cane? He grinned, gesturing as if she didn't know what he was talking about. I had the condom specially designed. Show me those beautiful boobies. She disrobed. I'm not used to seeing such a bald pussy, he murmured. I might have to see if Mrs. Claus would be willing to try waxing. After they finished, Santa got back into his suit. Thank you, Emma. You made my Christmas so very enjoyable. I hope you realize you're special. I don't usually do this, even if I do have a hall pass on Christmas Eve.
Well done. Well done. I did have to edit.
Absolutely the candy cane reference I saw coming a mile away.
Well, I was especially in the fact that he specially designed candy cane condoms for nights such as these. That's my favorite. Like Santa did his homework and got ready.
I don't feel like you have to I feel like you could go somewhere and purchase those right now. I don't think that's a special order.
So I'll let you in on a little bit of the
it's not a special order because of the size of his giant cock.
Swollen member.
Santa cock.
So behind the scenes, I have to edit these things because they are actually worse and longer than what you guys actually get here. The person that wrote this, every time he spoke, Santa speaks, they go, he murmured. I cut it down to just one, but every line in this whole thing is Santa says something gross, and then it's he murmured.
So basically, we just know that Santa in this universe, in the Santa's coming to
tonight,
universe, he just sounds like Nick Nolte all the time.
It's just
murmur.
I just don't like. I feel like there could have been something better than show me those beautiful boobies.
Boobies.
That's also one of my favorites. That one I did not change. That was legit. Just show me those beautiful boobies.
Also, I'm a little uncomfortable with the insinuation of how young Emma is in this.
Okay, so so it's both worse and not as bad as what you're thinking. The beginning of this story involves Emma and her 9-year-old son and she's putting him to bed on Christmas Eve.
And her 9-year-old
And then
classmate.
she falls asleep in her chair, and Santa appears to her, and she says she's been very lonely and hasn't known physical touch in some time. And Santa
He's there to
decides
stuff her sock.
he
stuff her
is
stocking.
he is there, and it is. I'm telling you, man, pages upon pages. They do gross things with that candy cane flavored condom. I will not repeat them here, but it is
Oh,
terrible.
but you make me read them. Okay.
No.
No, I did not make you
Matt's-
read that portion.
Matt read the entire publication
read-
and the sequel.
I
3
did.
times.
It took me several times. I kept finishing
3
before. I mean, I
times.
didn't. Yeah. But
In one
eventually, I got there. All right, Ben. I'm gonna
Eventually
get
got there.
you.
That's good to know.
That's actually gonna come up in one of these. All right, so let me get Ben. I gotta send this in 2 parts. Because much like Santa's swollen member, it's too big for
God,
just
how do
one.
I get this chat off of my good God
You can't.
clothes?
All right,
I don't need chat anymore, do
Ben.
I? I don't want to look at that.
No, you don't need that anymore.
I hope this isn't on your
It's
corporate
like,
Zoom account.
It's like AIM messaging with a bot.
All right, Ben. Hold on. Let me get
Snowballing.
you your.
I fucked Frosty.
All right, there's your whole bit, my friend.
All right. Doing it dry.
Let me see if. Hold on. Let me see if the. Are you able to hear? Are you able to hear that?
No.
Oh, that's so weird. Okay, sorry. I can't make it work.
This sound guy sucks.
I know. What an asshole.
All right. So Snowball and I fucked Frosty by orally Virg.
Vierge.
Yes.
Vierge.
Orally Vierge.
I'm familiar with much of their work now, and yes.
Okay. And then I saw something incredible. When the snowman's head began to turn towards me, another part of him also began to move. The snowcock began to twitch slightly, and a tiny bead of water leaked from its tip and ran down the shaft, turning into an icicle about halfway down. I'd been with all sorts of men before, Stephen, and with some girl one drunken night in college, but this was completely out of my range of expertise. No fuck. I decided to just start with what came naturally, with, I guess you would call it, a snow job? I started with the snowballs, licking around them and tickling the undersides. They were too big to fit completely in my mouth, but I made do with my hands. Oh God, give me that South Pole, I cried in abandonment. I began making unprecedented noises, then all squeaks and bleats and noises that would have been at home in a barnyard. The Eskimos may have had 100 words for snow, but at that moment, I only had 2. Fuck yeah. I would fucking read this. This is hysterical.
The end of that one is
that whole thing over.
phenomenal.
I just like that it ends with fuck.
Fuck
Yeah.
Fuck
yeah.
With a period after fuck
Yeah.
and a period
Fuck
after yeah.
yeah. Just 2 words. That's all you need.
All right, Matt. I want
All
to
right.
hear about your
This
elf diddling.
is called Penetrating Claws: The Tale of Toyson Tinkerbottoms by Lustpen. Santa stepped around the front of his wife. I look forward to this every year, Tinkertons. It's not Christmas without a good old holiday spit roast, is it, Mother? No, it isn't, Daddy, she replied with a happy expression. The night continued on in this passionate orgy. I on one end, Santa on the other, and Mrs. Claus filled from the sides. Goodness me, Mother, Santa said, growing white in the face. Is it time already? Sounds like it, Mrs. Claus replied. You'd best hurry up and finish or you'll be late for the big day. Swap me places, Tinker Boy, Santa moaned frantically as he scrambled around to the rear end of his wife, pants still around his ankles. I finish faster this way. Just be sure to hold her steady so she doesn't go flying. More belly laughter. Mrs. Claus took my candy cane in her mouth. He rammed against her with ever-increasing force as a low grumble emanated from his beard, and he shouted, Merry Christmas! Oh, it's gonna be a white Christmas for you, all right, Mother. The end.
Just like Chinese finger cuffs.
It's like
Really
freaking.
blocked that tree.
It's not.
Just like fucking Chinese finger cuffs.
It's not Christmas without a good old holiday spit roast, is it, Mother? That's the most disturbing role play grandparent porn I have ever in my life seen. Just
well, you found it.
God damn.
So it did that, like, when it says more belly laughter, was that like subtext?
There
Or
was
did somebody
a
say
scene
or-
earlier where he laughed at some other gross joke he made, and this was him laughing, like more belly laughter again after his. He wasn't demanding more belly laughter. I just misread
like,
it.
like everybody around him. This is not an orgy without
No.
more belly laughter, guys.
The thing
I
I'm
can't
really
He's
upset.
like, I can't come if you ho ho ho.
I'm holding on as much as I can, Tinker Bottoms.
Here comes Santa Claus.
Apparently, there's a market for this. I think the three of us could write one of these books tonight.
Well, so here's the best part is, so I found the majority of these. Someone, thank God, wrote an article of like best like erotic, like 14 erotic. I'm like, okay, so I just clicked
Yeah,
on
God
those. and-
forbid you have to spend 6 hours doing research like you did.
Listen, I had other things to get to, but the one I couldn't get, which
Like
had
your bathroom?
my favorite title of all of them, and I'm gonna track this down somehow. It is currently out of print on digital, which I don't understand what that means, but
I suggest Pornhub. You can
I
probably
could
find
not
it on
get this. It
Pornhub.
was called Mrs. Claus Gets Elfed. And I just thought that was the most delightful title out of all of the bunch. So next time for next year, I vow I will track down Mrs. Claus Gets Elfed. And that is seen. So without further ado, we'll get to our topic of the evening. Many years ago, I believe episode 1. No, wait, earlier than that. I forget.
it was well earlier than that.
Yeah,
I wasn't there, was I?
You were. Oh no, you were there as John Arthur and.
Oh yeah, so that's right.
Yeah, it was. I can tell you what episode.
It was you, me, John Arthur, and Nick. And
yeah,
we
episode
all-
55. We did what we called a fictional character dinner party, and that's exactly what it sounds like. We created a dinner party filled with fictional characters, whether they are from a movie or a television or a book or wherever you want to find them. If you want to put a video game character in there, that works too. And we are basically going to pitch why we picked these people, what we think is going to happen at this party, and that's about it. That's really that's the whole setup. Since Ryan is our guest, I will give you the choice if you want to go middle, end, or first. What would you prefer, sir?
It's a carryover from the erotic readings.
Yeah,
You
if
could
I want
do
to be the lucky Pierre.
You want to go first?
I'll go first.
All righty. Oh, and everyone, I don't know if you guys have done this or not, but if we stagger the entrances of people to the party, I can give us a nice little, maybe a little doorbell, or maybe we get a little, just like whatever's gonna be there. So just let me know. I'll look to you for
So
prompts.
maybe Ryan, you should start with what your venue is, and then invite your first person in and explain why they're there.
Okay, so there's a couple of venues that I think you could have got. Well, no, there's one venue. There are a couple that I thought of. Obviously, the first place I thought of was Tom Hanks's condo in Big, because what a place.
Very jealous. I did not think.
What a
of that.
place.
But that's not what I went with. I went with somewhere that you want to have a big holiday party. The atmosphere can really be whatever you want it to be. It's a real magical place. So my dinner party is going to be held at Hogwarts.
Wow.
Oh. Any particular room at Hogwarts?
The Great Hall, obviously.
Great Hall, obviously. Okay.
Not the Slytherin dungeons.
Why would you have a dinner party, a holiday dinner party, not in the Great Hall, like candles floating around, like,
Yeah.
It's got to be Hogwarts.
Yeah.
Got to be the Great Hall.
Sounds good.
Took a real 180 from those erotic readings, but yeah, go on. Let's do this.
You don't want to know the erotic readings I've done for Harry Potter. Google Harry. Never mind. I became uncomfortable with the joke I was about to make.
Even
So, I don't know how you want me to introduce. Do you just want to ring the doorbell and let the
Sure,
first guest
let's
in? Or...
let's hear.
God, that's such an appropriate doorbell, too.
That's what I thought. I came up
what it
with
would
everything.
sound like. So, the very first person that is coming into this party, I think there's a couple of different ways you go with how you build a dinner party. There's a theme. There's certain people for certain spots to create the right party. You know, there's tons of different ways you can do it. I kind of think there are certain spots for each party, and that's kind of the way I'm going. So the first person that I'm bringing in is the mysterious guy, the one you want to ask questions to, the one that's going to spark conversation, maybe not even with him, but about him. So the whole room has something to talk about. And the first guest with the venue, appropriately, is Severus Snape.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
So I want to bring him in. First of all, magic. Why would you not want that involved in your dinner party? But there's questions to be asked.
Oh, yeah.
You know, like, what happened? Was it always this way? Is this how the book actually went? That type of thing. But, like, you know, how would it be different if Harry Potter was a girl and looked like Lily? You know, like, so there's a lot of questions that you can go to. I feel like he won't necessarily be the life of the party, but he'll
be
spark
interesting.
the conversation.
Yeah.
There's always something interesting. Everybody loves Harry Potter, so they all want to know about it.
Yeah.
And again, if somebody gets blackout drunk, he can get a Bezoar, put it down your throat. He can probably make up some sweet concoctions. I bet he's a whiz bang on the cocktails.
Oh, hell yeah.
If we're being honest.
He can knock you out. He is definitely hipster, like, drink maker.
100%.
Yeah.
100% he has a leather apron and is the type of dude that's like,
Nice.
Don't tell me what you want. I'll make this drink. You'll like it.
He is smoking the orange peel every old fashioned, not just on certain everyone. I like this.
100%.
Let's see. Perhaps maybe.
Maybe he maybe he can make. I was gonna make his special drink is called the Avada Kedavra because it's so killer. Womp womp.
Yeah, play that womp womp womp.
It requires me to switch to the other soundboard, and I'm just it wasn't even
Listen,
bad
I knew
enough
that was
to,
a dad
like,
joke.
That was
Dad
just all right.
Okay. So the next guest, I think you have to have the intellectual guy, the well-read guy, the person that's going to be on top of the conversation. But he can also control a room. He can, you know, the entertainer almost.
The life of the party.
Guest, yeah, a little bit. So my second guest is Hans Gruber.
Oh, please tell me you're doing what I think you're doing. And this is really funny, and because this will directly tie into something I almost did.
This is amazing.
But this is wonderful. Yes, please continue. Please make this happen.
You got to have Hans Gruber because here's the thing. Like I said, he's the intellectual guy. The dude is well read. He will tell you all the things he's reading about. He's always prepared. So whatever goes wrong, he's ready for it. And the thing is, he's so damn likable. Like, you feel like you should hate him, but you're attracted to. He's got that charisma, the type of guy that's going to keep the party really going. And the best part about him is he'll get his hands dirty. So you know he's going to help you do the dishes. You know, he's not afraid to really get down in the grime. He surrounds himself with the best people that do exactly what he needs them to do, but he's willing to do the work himself. So you know he's going to scrub some dishes at the end of the party.
I love it. Let's see. Let's see.
Wait. Loxley.
Who could that be?
Nice suit. So my third, did I hear the doorbell? Oh,
Yeah.
God. Oh.
Sometimes the doesn't work.
Doorbell's
right.
on the fritz. So my third guest.
It's a rinky-dink Hogwarts bell there.
It is. My third guest.
That's the Dursley's
I feel
bell.
like, it is. I feel like you have to have a Grinch at every party,
All right.
especially at a holiday party. There's somebody that's just not in a good mood. They don't really want to be there. They're a little snarky. So my third guest is the Sheriff of Nottingham from
That's why I
Robin
said
Hood, Prince of Thieves.
Loxley. I knew it. I called it.
Oh boy.
First of all, he'll bring the silverware because he likes to do his work with a spoon.
This is very true. This is very true.
He knows his way around the castle.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't have to tell him where the bathrooms are. Dude parties.
Yeah, he
He'll
does.
party. Like, what's the line? Like, you, my room, 10:30. You, 10:45.
Yeah.
Bring a friend.
He
like,
parties
he's
fast.
Down to,
Oh yeah.
He's down to party.
He's gonna bang a house elf. Like he's banging a house elf.
Two. Bring a friend. And
Two.
the only problem is he wants to call off Christmas.
This is true. That's why he's a Grinch.
But that's the Grinch.
Yeah.
So, that's...
I like this.
I feel like he needs to be there, though. You have to have that personality.
And he'll probably get along with Severus. Severus is not a big Christmas lover, but I think the Christmas cheer is obviously Hans Gruber's bringing all of that holiday cheer. He does his best work on Christmas. So I think that's
absolutely.
he will liven up
100%.
any Christmas party big time.
And Hans Gruber, he'll bring the whole party together.
Oh,
he
yeah.
brings everybody together, like he's not afraid to be in front of a crowd. Like Hans Gruber is the glue of this party.
The people are almost held hostage there. They're just entranced with him. Just entranced.
By his charisma.
All right, let's see where we're going next.
So you have to have, it's Christmas.
Yes.
You have to have one of God's representatives. So the fourth guest is Metatron from Dogma.
Yes. Oh, yes. Please, yes. Please more of this. All of this right now.
The main thing, first of all, he would make an amazing entrance.
Oh,
like
yes.
the dude's he's not using a doorbell.
I am the Metatron, the true voice of God.
Flames, wings coming out of his shoulders. He's not going to take any of your chicks because he's anatomically impaired as a Ken doll.
This is true.
So no threat. Your ratio is better.
No
already.
junk, no threat.
Exactly. He also parties. But I say we get drunk because I'm all out of ideas.
I was about to say it's one of my. That's
you have to have that
mantra.
guy.
Yeah.
Plus he knows the guy that's the reason for the season.
Yeah.
So, that's.
I was literally about to quote that line, Ryan. That's so funny.
And I was waiting for the Ken doll joke. So you're really paying to the crowd tonight. I gotta say this is wonderful. Now we have one more guest.
One more guest.
One more. Let's. Oh, they're impatient. They really want to get in there.
Well, this guy is impatient because he's a fucking dickbag. Because you got to have the guy everybody makes fun of. Like everybody talks shit about one person at the party. And that could, normally that would be Snape, but I think Snape is deceptively lovable. So you're not necessarily mocking him unless you're like Harry Potter, one of his students. But the final guest is Harry from Love Actually.
Oh, what a dick.
Because first of all, he's going to bring at least one good gift. He'll bring a couple shitty gifts, but he's going to bring one good one, hopefully to the host. But
no,
I don't know.
That's
the
not.
person
It's
that
not
needs
going
it the
to
most. He's probably not. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's not going to give the good gift to the person that needs it the most.
That's going to Mrs. Sprout. Because Mrs. Sprout fucks. We all know it.
No doubt.
Yeah.
No doubt.
Mandrakes? No, that's just Mrs. Sprout coming. Okay, that was a deep dive. That was I'm sorry. I'm gonna let you go. I'm sorry about that.
Yikes.
Apologize.
But really, he's just there because I want to have these other four dry assholes just going in on him. I want him to just he's the worst person on the face of the planet. But amazingly, he's only. I know. I heard what I said. I heard what I said. Just leave it. We're adults.
I don't.
We started with erotic readings. It's hard to go back from that.
He's the second worst person on that show, but he's the worst person in this room. I really want him to get the full force of everybody's bad attitude, and just really hope something real bad happens to him before the end of the night.
It probably will.
Oh yeah, yeah.
With that group,
yeah, they're gonna do bad things to his dry.
He's gonna be sacrificed, or Hans is just gonna shoot him in the face.
Yeah, exactly.
Or the Sheriff of Nottingham is going to cut his
shoot
heart out
that.
with a spoon.
Maybe all of the above. Like maybe each one of them is going to get in there a little bit of poison, a little bit of spoon hearting.
Because it's
a
dull,
little,
you twit, it'll hurt more.
A little shooting in the face. And I think that's perfect.
Exactly. So those are my 5 guests. And I feel real good about that party.
Now, are you
you figured out my bit pretty quickly.
Are you participating in this party, or you're just like you're the host in the background just watching this all unfold? Are you gonna like if you should be at this party? Who are you hanging out with? Like, where's your first stop?
Here's the thing. Like, I'm going with the middle 3. Like, my main first, fuck Harry. I'm not hanging out with that dude. I'm probably going to spend the most time with the Sheriff of Nottingham and Metatron, because we're like, it's just blackout time. Like,
I just love the words you spoke.
Like, that's just, I mean, who else? Like, I'll hang out with Snape early, get those questions in. By the time we get the drinks flowing, it's going to be time to really adjust the party attitude.
Yeah.
That's when, Sheriff of Nottingham, Metatron, maybe Hans Gruber. I feel like Hans Gruber also parties a little bit when he's not, on
when you're not his antagonist.
Exactly.
If there is this is the reason for the season. You say if there is a heaven, and you go to heaven, I think the first thing you should request is to either somehow view this dinner party as like a movie, or to be involved directly in this dinner party, because I think you'd have a great time.
I agree. I feel like the more y'all make me do erotic readings,
you're probably not going to go. Yeah,
the lesser my chances are.
That's frowned upon. We didn't do any with God, so like at least that's not. It was just Santa and Mrs.
Next
Claus
episode.
Next episode. The last pint goes to hell. What is amazing about your choices is I thought about this long and hard, because the last time we did this, I looked up what the dinner party I put together, and it was phenomenal. And it was like all these interesting people and all this stuff. And then for a half a second, I had this idea, and I'm shit you not, Ryan, this is written down. I can send this to you. Here's what I wrote. Had half a thought to go all unhinged characters played by the same actor and have the party turn into a bloodbath, but I did them in pairs. So it was going to be Daniel Plainview from There Will Be Blood and Bill the Butcher from Gangs in New York. Then Anton Sugar from No Country for Old Men, and Silva from Skyfall, and Stansfield from The Professional, and Jean-Baptiste Emmanuel Zorg from Fifth Element, just to see all of like people that had like a hair trigger, watch them all destroy each other and be killed. That was legitimately an idea I had, and I was like, that's too dark.
So
I prefer yours a lot better.
What's funny is when I thought of this, I literally was driving down the highway and just like, oh shit, this might be a great idea.
It's a great idea.
Phenomenally.
And then
good.
I was like, my theme, because I'm still in the same mindset. I was talking with my buddy Dave about this last night, of like, when you do these types of bits, you can't just pick 5 random people. There needs to be a process of a theme or something connecting them all.
Yes.
And I couldn't just come out and say my theme is all characters played by Alan Rickman that I love. So I had to be like, okay, what's my fake theme
you should have been
that I'm going to tell? Because I really wanted to just see how long it would take you to figure out that I'm just going.
I'm inviting a wizard, a criminal, a hitman, a sheriff, a philanderer, and an angel. That would probably still
I feel
tip
like
this
you
off.
would have figured that out even quicker. Like, you'd have figured that out from the get-go.
That was amazing, Ryan.
But that was like, I was
well
like,
done.
There's no chance. I told my buddy, like I said, I was talking to Dave about it, and I was like, there's no chance I get past the third person. Like, absolutely no chance I get past the third person before they figure out exactly what I'm doing.
I knew who the third person was before you even said it.
I know.
I was so excited.
I tried not to react.
I got so excited.
Stop ruining my bit, man.
that was great. So I'll go next. We'll let Ben clean up on this.
Okay.
So it's interesting because I did sort of similar in that I wanted to have a reason kind of for matching these
For the
people up
season.
versus last time I kind of just did people that I thought would be entertaining to me, and I went like on a nerd to geek spectrum. This time I realized last time I didn't have a lot of females representing in my group last time. I think Liz Lemon was the only female, so I wanted to have more women in this one this time. And I thought, that's kind of if I bring in some very strong women characters, I kind of want to match them up with male characters that maybe could stand to hear from a strong woman, and maybe that kind of presence at a party might help them out. So I'm gonna say it's in this scenario, it's post-COVID, because who the hell wants to deal with all of this shit for this party? So we've rented a rooftop space in London. We've got some nice outdoor seating. There's a small movie screen that's playing some new and old great films. And one of the characters is helping kind of curate the menu for this, and one of is also helping curate the film for it. So let's see who's going to show up first. I did this a little different because I had originally just was introducing all of my characters and then they showed up, but I'm gonna combine it. So let's see how this works. So we have our first guest, and it's Beatrice from Shakespeare's Much Ado About Nothing. And I decided, when you're talking kind of feminist icon, she was like the OG. She's like super smart, super witty, and she immediately calls out all the bullshit she has to deal with that men don't, and like constantly in that show. So I thought this is pretty cool. We got someone also with some historical perspective. She's also brought a batch of mead that she brewed specifically for the occasion. We know we're going to get into that. And then I noticed that she actually has someone in tow. They're gonna ring that doorbell too. And it's a gentleman a lot of you may not know, but I'm pretty sure Ryan's going to know as soon as I say the name. It's a Mr. Doug Judy. Doug Judy is Craig Robinson's character from Brooklyn Nine-Nine. He's a con man.
Rosa.
He's a con man and a thief who wants to be best friends with a detective that's trying to arrest him, who also wants to be best friends with him.
The Pontiac Bandit.
Now, Beatrice has caught Doug red-handed trying to steal something out of her handbag. But despite this, they've settled into some chairs now at the party, and they're having a spirited discussion about his sister and some of his resentment towards women latched around that person. So they're off in their little area, and then let's see. Oh, yep, someone's at the cheap door at the back entrance. I open the door, and it is someone that there is no other name for this character other than this, but Fleabag. And Fleabag is Phoebe Waller-Bridge's main character from a show called Fleabag. She's a sarcastic young woman who lives in London, struggling with self-esteem issues and some very complicated relationships and sexual urges. And she's sorry she was late. She literally was just having sex with a priest nearby, and she lost track of time. She's got tons of food with her because she also runs catering and is familiar with that whole world. So she's brought in all kinds of food, and she likes the drink. So we're pretty stocked on the bar at this point. And she goes to start setting things up. And at that point, we are visited by another guest, Mr. Bob Harris. Bob Harris is Bill Murray's character from Lost in Translation. He's an aging actor who's a bit past his prime, now doing commercial work, sometimes overseas. Of course, he's brought some Suntory whiskey. And he's also brought a small karaoke machine with him because he thinks that might liven up the party later on. He whispers something in my ear, but I can't tell you what it is. It's a secret. And the party's kind of...
I got that joke.
There we go.
I get that
Very,
reference.
very
funny.
Very funny. And for the party's pretty mellow. Beatrice is holding court out there, and it's pretty clear that Bob's got a little bit of a thing for this strong woman speaking all of these amazing speeches. And she's talking about how it's a man's world and she has to fight to be heard. And Fleabag's actually taking in a lot of this discourse and really thinking about things. And then, yes, it's Nick Miller from the show New Girl, played by Jake Johnson. He's lazy but loyal, great friend. manages to succeed when he's not getting in his own way and actually kind of applies himself. He's late, of course, but he's brought the rules to a famed, made-up board game called True American. Now, this is why Nick was invited to this party. Just a fun guy and great drinker. Everyone on this list, by the way, phenomenal drinkers, just grade A.
Nick's a glue guy.
Nick has bringing this game. Now, this game, for those of you that don't know the show, is a bit of a mystery, right? It makes no sense. The floor is there's what we know about the game. The floor is lava. You drink from a king of the castle, which is a bottle of whiskey.
It requires quotes from founding fathers.
Correct. It's surrounded by sets of pawns, which are beers. You start the game by shotgunning a beer. You pick teams by throwing numbers on your head, and there's something involved shouting JFK and FDR. And everything you hear in True American is a lie. The first person to get drunk wins. Those are the only rules, and Nick is throwing these people into the deep end with this game. But it goes across swimmingly. Unfortunately, because everyone is drunk, they can't determine a winner. So Bob breaks out the karaoke machine, pops on a little Elvis Costello to kick things off. Beatrice launches in. She doesn't need a machine. She grabs that mic, and we get a drinking song no one's heard for 200 years. It's phenomenal. Doug, Judy, and Nick Miller get up. They sing What's Up by Four Non-Blondes, and they just bring tears to everyone's eyes. And at the end of the night, Nick and Doug wind up chatting with Bob about old movies, and they bring up some of their favorites on the movie screen. Beatrice and Fleabag join them. They light a joint. They all start acting out some of their favorite moments from movies until the sun comes up the next morning. And that is my dinner party.
Nicely done.
I like that. You hit every end of the spectrum. You're like, oh, classical poetry. Doug Judy.
Doug Judy was the most excited I got in this whole thing. That's I'm hanging out with Nick and Doug and Bob. I mean, actually, all of these people are people like that's a selfish part of me that I would want to sit and talk to every single one of these people at length at this party. Like, we need to have several hours of like drunken bonding conversation at this party.
Oh, absolutely. I want to come to your party.
That's
I want to come to
you would be invited.
Party. I want to come to both of those parties.
I gotta go to the Rickmanoff. I mean, that's going to be.
You get to go to Hogwarts. Why would you?
Rickmanoff.
The Rickmanoff.
You're getting Rickman rolled. Nailed it.
Rickman rolled. You did
never
Rickman
going
roll
to
us.
give you up. Never going to give.
What's really funny is my dinner party from the first episode we did of this ends with someone with Michael's character from The Good Place singing "Never Gonna Give You Up" in karaoke.
That's awesome.
Good times. All right, Benny, you can take us home, buddy.
All right, taking us home. So first off, gotta set the scene. So the location that I selected, real world location, is in Atlanta, Georgia. It's a place called the Vortex. It is a voodoo themed craft beer and burger bar.
Oh,
I was hoping it was one of the real world cities.
There are multiple locations, but the entrance is a giant skull where you walk through the mouth. And anyways, awesome real place. Great food, great like craft beer, great great eats. It's also just one of those places just weird as fuck inside. Feels like it was like curated by Marilyn.
It's like
feels like it was curated by Marilyn Manson.
Nice.
But the idea for this is because I'm saying it's after closing. They've rented the place for this private, or I've rented the place for this private party. All you can drink, all you can eat, or anything you guys want on the menu, basically. And my whole kind of premise was kind of similar in a way to I was kind of inspired from John Arthur's last one when we did it a while back, which is that I'm interested in kind of getting a bunch of people who are not protagonists in the lead. It's almost same as Ryan as well. Not protagonists, but not people that you root against necessarily either. People who are definitely probably mean-spirited or bad in some way, but people who you kind of also want to root for, but everyone's going to be on a razor thin edge, and you're just waiting for something combustible to happen at this party with copious amounts of flaming shots and voodoo magic happening late at night, 2:00 in the morning in Norcross, Georgia.
It's a sign of 2020 that the initial thought for all three of us was, what's the most dark, what's the darkest dinner party we can come up with?
I'm not going John Arthur. I'm not going John Arthur dark. We're not having Hannibal Lecter.
We all let's stir some shit up. Our dinner party was like, you know what? Let's fucking stir some shit. Invite that guy. We know that he's gonna get his ass kicked. I want to see that guy get his ass kicked.
The hardest thing that I could think of, the hardest thing I had to decide was if I wanted to have my dinner party at Hogwarts or at Nakatomi Plaza.
That's nice.
You could have been in the Nakatomi Tower at Hogwarts.
There you go.
That's like the astronomy tower, but right next door.
That would have been amazing.
Anyways, well, so the party, the bar closes at 10, or the restaurant closes at 10, so it's at 10:30. But of course, at 10:25, the first person shows up early. Because I know that if shit goes down, he's going to be the only guy that could probably protect me of everybody. And that is, walks in, it's Mike Sullivan, played by Tom Hanks from Road to Perdition.
Oh, shit.
Starting
off with the Hanks. I like it already.
With the Hanks, yes. With
6 to midnight. Yep.
A paid gangster, but a very potentially a good man, but also a guy who knows the business. He's basically almost there as kind of a glorified bodyguard, but he's going to have some poignant things to say a little bit later in the evening to some of the maybe less desirable conversations that are occurring around the table.
I like it.
Maybe bringing a little bit of morality back. So anyways, just because there was free beer, the doorbell rings again. There you go. And already carrying his own 6-pack of Schlitz because he doesn't want to drink that craft beer bullshit that's in there. In walks Quint from Jaws.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh, man. I already want to
Played
go to
by
that
Robert
party
Shaw.
right now.
Immediately, actually, both Mike Sullivan and Quint actually strike up a very lively conversation at the bar before anybody else arrives, regaling some kind of semi-violent war stories. Mike Sullivan does not talk about his time in the war, but he was a war hero, and same sort of repressed deal as Quint has. So then around after a little bit of time, our first lady of the evening waltzes in. And that's kind of our biggest wild card of the night, which is Suzanne Stone, played by Nicole Kidman in To Die For.
Wow.
The 1995 Gus Van Sant film. Who is obsessed with becoming famous with whatever means possible, and is sort of sociopathic. Basically comes in trying to listen to Quint and Mike's conversation and seeing if she could find any sort of in or some sort of way that she can kind of gain an edge up on. However, then immediately is followed by somebody who almost kind of counterbalances her with the doorbell. And that is Mavis Gary, who's played by Charlize Theron in Young Adult. Ooh. Comes in.
Ooh, Jesus, Ben. I was so into this party, and then you just had to go there, didn't you?
I had to go there.
Jesus.
Yes.
Ben's working out some therapy in this party. Yes. I'm just going to let y'all know right now.
So at this point, it becomes a roundtable discussion. Mavis Gary is researching a book, or she's researching some of these people basically to write a book. However, is far too drunk.
Oh, God damn, Ben.
Suzanne Stone is basically trying to manipulate everybody, and the other, but Mike's not having it. Mike can see straight through it, and Quint doesn't deal with that bullshit anyway. So things are getting very tense. And then the last and kind of the strangest and most random person comes in. And that's Gary Winston, played by the great Tim Robbins in the movie Antitrust. In 2001, starring Ryan Phillippe and Rachel Lee Cook.
What?
God, Rachel Lee Cook. Can Rachel Lee Cook come to the party?
Can she Rachel Lee Cook?
Oh God bless America. I'm still stuck on fucking Antitrust being the movie that you mined for this dinner party.
That's too many dad
But
jokes.
It's so
holy
random.
shit.
So for those who have not seen Antitrust, everyone, it's a bad movie about just so I can briefly, because most of these other movies,
please.
you're going to understand who these other characters are. Maybe not young adult, but anyway.
She's a young adult author and an alcoholic and kind of a homewrecker.
Yeah, and kind
That's
of a homewrecker. That's good enough.
I'm interested.
So anyways, Gary Winston basically kind of plays a Bill Gates sort of stand-in, where he is this tech maven, owns a huge company, billionaire, one of the richest people on earth. Ryan Phillippe is a software engineer who learns a little bit too much and realizes that his boss, who is this all-powerful, but totally cool guy, is actually willing to go to whatever ends necessary in order to avoid certain laws.
All right.
And litigation. So he's the smartest guy in the room. And he's going to come. He's basically, all we have is a bunch of people sort of trying to manipulate one another, except for Mike, who is basically sitting there with a gun under his trench coat, ready to just open fire as soon as shit hits the fan. I'm here.
You have literally created Clue.
Yes,
like you have made the modern pop culture version of Clue with your Mr. Body, that was like Tim Robbins, and then Hanks is your FBI agent, and
in a voodoo bar.
Jesus, whew.
Yeah, it's like Knives Out in a voodoo bar in Atlanta.
Yes, exactly.
I love it.
And so that's the whole idea, is that I just wanted something that's going to tinker on the edge of madness for so long. And you never know really what way it might go. I don't have an ending for this night because it could go so many different ways.
Because your character didn't live to the end of it. We don't know what happens, but you died, man.
No. What happens is everything, and right as everything goes crazy, and Mike comes out and shoots everybody and everyone falls down like... and then confetti shoots everywhere, and I'm just like, you're on candid camera.
I just
look over there. Dax Shepard runs out. You got punked.
You got punked.
I just want to invite like random characters from like Reservoir Dogs and a couple of other movies, just so they can come in for a moment and recreate like a famous scene with these people and then leave. Like they're just like passers-by at this crazy party. But shit,
yes.
I just want.
So yeah,
I just want to invite Gordon Bombay.
Gordon Bombay.
That was Ryan's first. His initial thing was just as long as Gordon Bombay was involved in the evening somehow.
That's
well. Do you know who banked all of these parties? A mysterious benefactor, going by the name Gordon Bombay.
Gordon Bombay.
That's right. He funded all of these parties.
Whatever.
Now just sitting back watching.
You know it was Mr. Ducksworth. Quack, 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 Mr. Ducksworth.
Now I'm going to go home and sleep with my wife.
I love it.
After all of these.
I really am super fascinated that we literally, our inclination, you guys went ahead with it. And I was like, I only pulled back because I was like, they're going to like be like, dude, Matt, you need to get like some help, like of going like dark or just like messed
I'm
up with
I'm
things.
already in therapy.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're all doing a little therapy right now.
This is all therapy for us, man.
Yeah, this is the clearest sign of 2020.
Mine was either going to be Alan Rickman or my top 5 list that Kristen can't say no to.
I did say once we realized the gag of you doing all Alan Rickman, I did on the fly think of how funny it would be if I just did all Tom Cruise characters and just be like
saw you writing notes.
Do you know
the last guy leaving and be like, it's just him from far and away. He's like, don't you like my hat?
Do you realize the energy level involved in an all Tom Cruise party? You'd be exhausted within 10 minutes. That's just pure Scientology energy just firing at you from every orifice.
We would all be so clear.
So
our
clear.
ketones, what do they call it? What is it?
And
thetans.
We would by the end of that night, we would absolutely respect the cock.
We would be full of thetans, just full.
Our teeth would all be just one. tooth over
Just one
off
off,
center.
just right, just to the left, just that way, the other way.
The OT level 7.
Yeah, I would go to that part. It's so funny because there are a gazillion ways you can go. Because like I had thought for a while, I thought maybe I would have Jordan Belfort at my party, but I wanted it to be specifically the Leo version of like that was my problem. I don't want
Jordan
the real
Belfort's a real
Jordan.
person.
Yeah, I don't want the real Jordan Belfort. I want the Leo DiCaprio Jordan Belfort at the party.
You went mid-movie Leo
and
DiCaprio.
get some old Quaaludes in our systems and just like go wild for a night. But
Or like the other one I thought of was like all superheroes. So if I went like Deadpool and Iron Man, because you can create a great party with all of those.
Oh, absolutely.
With all of those broken men
and a bloodbath.
Yeah, exactly.
All of the ones I think of at the end of them, they mostly wind up in bloodbaths. But
orgies, bloodbaths or orgies, one way or the other.
Ben's though is legitimately Ben's is going to be like that movie Identity that you get to the end of the party and it's just Ben on a couch talking to his therapist, and all of these characters are Ben that he just like cast himself as like a little of each of them, and he's working out some things. And I'm there with you.
It's a little like pre-code Fight Club is what I picture Ben being like.
I can't believe you had to reference Identity. Fuck that movie.
You went to Antitrust. Next time my movie is going to be everyone from Identity, and they're all played by John Cusack.
Mine's just going to be every character from Joe's Apartment, including the roaches.
But you got to give the roaches different personalities, so there's a couple of like named roaches.
The worst movie.
There's the main roach. I forgot what the main roach's name is.
I've tried to black that movie out of my memory.
The only way to watch that movie is when you're blacked out, so it fits.
I just remember that his band's name is Shit.
Yes.
Well, the movie was shit. That's for sure.
So I've got to say, and I don't. This shouldn't surprise me, but I am still always just pleasantly surprised that Ryan, you were given very little information on this and completely open ended, and you came up to bat on this task. And we had a similar thing with John Arthur when he did this of like. Definitely surprised me with just how like thought out, like you thought out the structure of like, here are the roles that should exist at a, which is why I'm also just thinking when this whole COVID mess is over, you need to throw a fucking dinner party and we need to like you understand how this needs to work. Like we need to get this going.
I want you to know that every time you ask me with your very vague texts about coming on the show, it's literally the most stressful thing happening in my life at that moment. Like, you don't understand the amount of pressure that like comes. It's like the abyss at that point. And the best example, and this isn't.
So it's just me dunking your head in that pink goo and you're trying to breathe.
But like, I've mentioned my buddy Dave. He's like my sounding board for this type of thing.
We gotta get Dave in here at some point.
Him on the show. He would
tell Dave open invitation.
If you tell him basically what you gave me. So Dave, for my 30th birthday, and I've known Dave since 2002. We met in college. For my 30th birthday, I did a roast.
Oh wow!
I picked 6 or 7, 8 people and just said, go to town. Like, and my friends are assholes. Like they went off. But Dave, I knew like the best thing about him is he hates public speaking. He hates being in front of the group. Like our running joke in college was he would make a funny comment and I would just say it louder and get the credit for it. But why we became best friends was because as soon as I got the credit for it, I would openly say, no, that was what Dave said. Like, he's like, you gave me the credit for it.
Dave's a writer. Like, he doesn't know it yet.
Sure. But it's the same concept of like, if you ask Dave to be the best man at your wedding and give a speech, he's going to stress for a month and then give you the absolute best performance. But that month leading up is like, complete like.
But that's why you're so good, and that's also why I give you so few parameters, because I like I like
mainly because I don't like rules, Matt.
It's more that I kind of want to see where you will go with just the bare bones of a concept. Like I gave you so little. Like, we literally told Ryan, make a party. And he's like, how many people? Like, I don't know. Whenever it sounds like a number that makes sense, and whatever.
What I love is I went back and looked at the text. And it said a Christmas party. And I was like, oh shit, this might not work. And I looked and I was like, nope, this works.
Did I say Christmas party?
I think so.
Oh shit, I didn't even remember. Mine wasn't a Christmas party, but I mean, it was a Christmas party. And Ben's was a Christmas massacre.
Forever known as the Atlanta massacre of
the Atlanta
2020.
Black Christmas. No, I am very impressed, and I'm sorry it is stressful, but you honestly, you do such a beautiful job with these things that I don't like to tether your genius in constraints. So I like what you came up with.
So your text says, I was thinking we could do another fictional character dinner party, but make this one holiday themed.
Yeah, mine was St. Patrick's Day. So I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about. Whatever.
But legitimately, like I stressed about it for like a week. I don't even remember when you told me. But then yesterday,
I'm even
happier
happier about that.
Clearly, mine was Arbor Day.
I love that you were stressing probably about like. But see, here's the amazing thing. The Christmas thing, you might not have thought of the Rickman connection without having that Christmas idea in your head and the Hans Gruber and some of that stuff happening. I don't know.
But that's why I picked Hogwarts over Nakatomi.
Yeah.
So like, how can you have a holiday party and not do it at the Great Hall at Hogwarts?
Oh, come on, man. It was amazing. I want to thank you.
I was hoping it would also start the fight of whether Die Hard is a
Oh,
movie or not.
It's not a fight. It is.
Oh wait, what the fuck did you say? No, yeah, it's a weird Christmas movie, but it's a Christmas movie, just like a lot of other weird Christmas movies. That's just the way it is. I want to thank you all for listening to this episode of The New Way, and of course to Ryan for knocking out of the park on this fictional character dinner party. We might get one more episode in before the new year. Well, we're gonna try. One or none. One or none. But otherwise, if we don't talk to you before the new year, let's hope for a better 2021. And if we do, well, we're gonna still hope for a better 2021. Just the way it goes. Thank you so much for listening, and we'll talk to you next time. Let's hear it from all three of us at one time. 1, 2, 3. Cheers.
Happy Hanukkah, everyone.
There it is.